All right, so yeah, this is gonna be my review of Horizon Forbidden West. I finally found the time to finish the game because, yeah, I reached a stopping point in Elden Ring where it's kind of like I know kind of what I need to do next, but like I d- I ba- I basically defeated Godric and then I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. So I spent a couple hours in Elden Ring faffing about, and then I was like, you know what? Let's play some Horizon Forbidden West because that's been sitting on my shelf. Well, I've been having fun in Elden Ring, so decided to do that, and I finished it yesterday, last night. Took only about like 3 days of playing, or three, yeah, three-ish days. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I guess too. I don't know. Some of those days I didn't play. Anyways, point is, I finished the game, and so now I'm gonna give my review. And although there will be spoilers at the very end of the review, because like I want to talk about how good the story was, and some of those have to do with the ending. But none of the gameplay footage will be spoilers, other than the fact that I'm riding on a robot that you get near the end of the game. But that was shown in promotional material, so I don't really think that's a spoiler, unless you just didn't see any of the promos. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna be flying around the starting area and doing random stuff in the footage. The footage isn't super applicable because I didn't think to record the first like couple missions of the game because I was having too much fun playing. Anyways, all that to say, gameplay footage you see won't have spoilers in it, but what I say at the end of the video will have spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, watch till then, and then I'll tell you when I'm about to say spoilers. But also, I'm not very good about avoiding spoilers. So if you absolutely, really, really, really don't want spoilers, probably just leave and come back. Drop a like and then come back later. Anyways, first off, amazing, amazing game. It basically picks up exactly where Horizon Zero Dawn ended, because in the epilogue you see Aloy's gone off by herself and visits Elizabeth Sobek's house. That's basically kind of where the game picks up, and it just feels the same but better. In almost every way, this game is Horizon Zero Dawn, but better. They fix a lot of the. I think the major gripe with Horizon Zero Dawn, or at least my major gripe with Horizon Zero Dawn, is that the game just, like, the dialogue, it was like Aloy statically standing on one side, then it'd pan to the other character who's just standing there, and they fix that. Like, a lot of the dialogue is very cinematic, to the point where there's multiple times when I didn't even know whether it was actual dialogue or a cutscene, and so I'd be trying to like skip through dialogue, speed it up a little bit, and then it would say, "Oh, skip the cutscene." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to skip the cutscene. I just want to speed up the dialogue a little bit." So yeah, it's very good. They did an amazing job. Because like you will, it's an RPG. You're gonna do a lot of talking to NPCs, and there are a lot of NPCs that you can talk to, and like they each are fair. I mean, they're not like fully fleshed out in the sense of like having a bunch of backstory and stuff, but like they have a lot of depth to them. Like the NPCs aren't just copied and pasted. Like a lot of the, well, not a lot, a decent amount of the ones in Horizon Zero Dawn were kind of felt a little bit copy and paste. Yeah. Also, actually wrote down a script for this, so I should be doing this. But yeah, you can see me doing a little bit of combat against a metal flower there. But the combat in this game feels absolutely amazing. Part of that is the dual sense with the adaptive triggers, like the feedback of like pulling back the bowstring. Absolutely amazing. And like there's different types of feedback for the different types of weapons. It's not like super unique, but like there is different feedback for the different types of weapons, and it feels great. Also, they let you tweak. This game has amazing accessibility options, but they let you tweak the like how much time will slow down when you're opening your weapon wheel, how much time will slow down when you're in concentration and stuff like that. So you can tweak that if you want combat to like be faster or slower when you're like opening your weapon wheel. Like if you want to go for a more tactical like hitting very specific parts of machines, but you aren't very skilled at like the whole aiming and shooting, you can slow down how much your concentration slows down time, and you can have the combat experience that you want, which is just absolutely amazing. Accessibility in games is always a good thing. Which, yeah, I've been watching a lot of Dark Souls deep dives on why Dark Souls doesn't need quote-unquote accessibility, because most people, when they want accessibility in Dark Souls, they want different difficulty levels, but there's different types of accessibility, like having subtitles, having other stuff. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about Dark Souls though, even though I really could. I'm going to stick to the game. But also, as you can tell, this game looks amazing. Like I was saying, with like the dialogue looking good, with like actually being animated and stuff, this game has amazing graphics. I have so many photos on my PlayStation of times that I just like stopped and took photos. Less so when I was like what's the word, binge playing this game, because like I got deep into playing this game. I was like, no stop, I want to get through this game, I want to keep playing, because like once you get to a certain point, I'm not going to tell you what point because I'm trying to avoid spoilers for now till the end of the video when I'm talking about the story, but once you get to a certain point, you're going to want to keep going and like figure out where things are going, because like the story picks up very quickly. But yeah, as you can see from here, like the draw distance is amazing. There are times when it doesn't look quite as good. Like there's certain cases where like if you look up at the night sky, the clouds look like kind of like a very soft airbrush texture, but then like the stars behind them are very crisp and clear. So it's like very jarring because it looks like a very low resolution thing masking a very high resolution thing, which that at certain points doesn't look so good. But also, you're rarely looking up at the sky. Like the game keeps you very engaged with like combat and like doing stuff. So yeah, it's those few moments when it doesn't look so great, you probably aren't even gonna notice. Another thing, like I was saying, you aren't gonna notice the sky as much because there's so much to do. Like Horizon Zero Dawn had like the collectibles and like side missions. This game tweaks those. Like there are a lot of collectibles to gather and stuff, and there's a lot of side missions, but like they're meaningful. Like this doesn't apply to the story or anything, but at a certain point you can start collecting data from drones. I think there's 10 different drones in the world, and then you can use that in a certain place in the game, and you can display that data on like a dome, and then it's basically will project that area of the world around you on that dome, and it's just gorgeous. Like the lighting is good in the dome, so like rather than just being a collectible of like, yay, you collected the thing, there's also the payoff of like, hey, now you get to enjoy the view of that drone whenever you want to. and I just think it like elevates the level of, rather than just being a collectible roundup, it's, hey, you get this benefit from collecting these things. And yeah, ooh, here's some combat footage coming up. I didn't edit my footage. Basically, I was like, whatever happens will happen, because I didn't really plan out my footage. But yeah, there's so much to do. And the side quests, like, I was amazed at what side quests like have cinematics and cutscenes. Like, you'll find this random dude in a cave, and there'll be cutscenes. Like, it's not even a really long mission, but it's a small side quest in a tiny little cave off to the side, and it has cutscenes. It's just a very well put together game. Like, there's I've heard a decent amount of comparisons to like The Witcher 3, and like half the side quest design in that game is similar to like Horizon Forbidden West, and I would say yeah, like the side quests feel just as important in the game, although Aloy, it does lead to a little bit of cognitive dissonance, or what's the I don't remember the word. It starts with an L or something. But like Aloy throughout the game is like, hey, I can't stop, I can't do this, I need to save the world. I'm sorry, I wish I could help. And then so that kind of makes you feel like you're a bad person if you're doing side quests. Because it's like, I'm supposed to be saving the world right now, we're on a clock, we gotta do this. And so like, yeah, side quests kind of feel like you're wasting time, because it's like, I'm on this super important mission, I shouldn't be doing this right now. But so there is a little bit of dissonance amongst the gameplay there, but the side quests are like very high quality. Like, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with the side quests that I did along with the main quests. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff to do. Like, I don't even know how many hours I have in the game. Probably like 50, 60. And I've done mostly just main quests. Like, I did all the side quests in the very start area because I was being... at the start, that was before Elden Ring came out. That was the weekend before Elden Ring came out. I was like, I'm gonna do everything in every area. And then I realized how long that was taking, and then I started playing Elden Ring, and that distracted me for a couple weeks. And now I was like, okay, forget side quests, let's just play the story, and if side quests come up that I want to do, I'll do them, but I'll do main story. That'll be my main focus. But yeah, there's so much to do. But with that, the game also allows for mainlining the story. Like, yeah, I did a lot of the side quests at the very start, but that was also an attempt to like stay at the level, because there's like recommended levels for the different main stories. But for the most part, you can play directly straight through the story, and only I think I did like maybe 5 or 6 side quests to try and stay at the recommended level for the main stories. But for the most part, you can just mainline the quest and go straight through the story if you want, which is amazing. Like, one of the games that I have the most hours in on my PlayStation is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And that was not my choice, because the game makes you grind at certain points, because like there will be huge gaps between story mission, like recommended levels. And in that game, if you are under leveled, you are going to have a very tough time because of how the game is set up. Whereas this game, yeah, stuff isn't really dependent on your level, although it's more dependent on your story progression. I don't know if you noticed, some of these machines that I'm fighting are darker and have like the purple stuff. Yeah, like this scrapper right here. That is an apex. As you get further into the story, there will be the apex versions of machines will start showing up some more. So that kind of keeps you wanting to be up to a higher level, but the only difference is that those machines will be a little beefier, a little more aggressive, but you can still take them down relatively easily. So yeah, I love that the game allowed me to play almost straight through the story. And so yeah, now spoiler alert, I am going to start talking about the story, and so there will be some spoilers. So if you do not want spoilers, please leave. I'm giving you a warning. You can't say I didn't warn you. Like please don't attack me and say I didn't warn you. Okay, the story is great. Basically, story is awesome. Yeah, it they got a lot of the exposition out of the way in the first Horizon Zero Dawn, so they ran with it, starting from like moment one of the game. You're doing great stuff. Like you fight the burrowers at the very start of the game, and that's kind of like your tutorial of and some scroungers, I guess, too. And that's your tutorial of, okay, here's how you use traps, here's how you stealth take down machines, all that. And then at the very end of the tutorial mission, you fight the giant snake robot. And I do not like snakes, although it was a robot, so I was fine with it. But like, they throw you into a decently hard fight straight from the get-go. Like the snake is pinned down for the first little bit, so like it can't quite hurt you as much as it could in the later times when you might face it in the game. But it is a crazy fight. Like it's yeah. Right from the start of the game, you're doing epic level stuff. And it's just so much fun. And like the game is impactful. Like there's so many moments when like I was playing through the game and I'm like, wow, they really the devs did not shy away from hard topics, such as again, I already did give a spoiler warning, so don't hate on me. But one of the primary antagonists, well, I don't know, Regala's technically primary for like the first half of the game, and then, well, first quarter. I don't know. There's a lot of antagonists in the game, but one of them is Gerard, which is basically Jeffrey Bezos. He's the leader of the Far Zeniths, and like he's basically an immortal trillionaire, which is what Jeffrey Bezos wants to be. But yeah, like they very clearly modeled him off of Jeffrey Bezos. That, or maybe Jeffrey Bezos just models himself off of video game villains. Either way, that comparison is definitely there. And like their commentary on like greed and how destructive the world of technology can be, and how it's I'm struggling. It was very good. I'm not very good with words though right now. I thought I wrote down enough. I'm straying off of my script a little bit. But yeah, it's very impactful, and like those points, like the different tribes have very different views, and one of the ones that kind of struck me a lot was the tribe that you meet on like the coast of the game, the Quen, which are from Asia. Which, yeah, it was interesting to see like how that tribe functioned, but their whole thing is about truth, and maybe this was not intended, but there was a lot of parallels between the Quen and like between like modern Christianity and the Quen, like because their whole thing is we are searchers of the truth, or just religion in general. I guess there's a lot of comparisons between religion, because like we do as Christian, as humans, have a tendency to deify things that we don't understand, and to put things on pedestals. And for the Quen specifically, they're a tribe that is dedicated to the truth, but they don't actually follow the truth. They've perverted the truth and twisted it, partially because they only have a limited set of data that they can read, and so they have interpreted their interpretations to the point where they deify Ted Faro, the guy who ended the world. They think but because of the data they have and how they've interpreted it, they think he's one of the greatest people in the world. And I don't know, I think it's a interesting commentary on how we can have all this information available to us, but without the proper context, we can't interpret it. Anyways, that's enough of my small soapbox. The game is also very emotional. Again, I gave a spoiler warning. I feel like I need to say this each time I'm about to say spoilers. But Varl dies. Our best friend in the game dies. And it's rough. Like, they do not pull any punches. Varl dies quickly and suddenly, and it makes you feel things. Like, even now, just talking about it, it makes me, like, a little bit emotional. Like, he was by our side for the whole game. He never gave up on us, and then all of a sudden, he's dead. But I mean, the game gives you like time to mourn his death, which in video games I feel like you never get that, or very rarely do you get time to like mourn the death of a friend. But in Varl, like, you get to have a funeral, you get to talk about him with his girlfriend, and like you get to talk about like what is life, what is the purpose, what gives our lives meaning, and it's just a very beautiful scene. And yeah, it was a good time. It hurt, and then like the payoff is that then Varl's girlfriend at the end of the game, she gets to get her revenge on the man who killed Varl, and it's, I don't know, the writers of the game did a very good job. Like, and then also, speaking of being emotional, like, you get to talk through Rost's death. Like, Aloy finally processes that with her sister. Beloy, as Smosh Games or Honest Trailers called her, Beta. Which, oh my gosh, Ashley Birch did an amazing job voicing two characters, actually technically three, because she voices Elizabeth, Beta, and Aloy. But yeah, it was so good, very emotional, and like there are decent surprises in the game, like the fact, like, you know that Tilda is not gonna be 100% trustworthy when you meet her. But then you learn that Tilda was briefly, she doesn't say a certain time period, but for at least a time, she was in a relationship with Elizabeth Sobek. So it's like, oh, okay, so I can probably trust her to like not hurt me. That's good. So like I can probably trust her a little bit. And then the final boss of the game is Tilda, because she was lying to you the whole time. And turns out the Zeniths aren't the ones who are trying to end the world. They're trying to escape the world because they messed up and there's a big bad thing chasing them that is actually the thing that started to end the world on Earth. And yeah, it's set up, but at the very same time, it's like I was not quite expecting this. Like, you don't even get to fight Gerard, the evil bald man Jeffrey Bezos dude. Like, Tilda shoves him into the room and shoots him, and then it's like, oh, okay, I see. Tilda's the final boss. And then also Silence surprises us because like he's very unemotional, but at the very end he sees the relationships and connections that Aloy and her friends have built, and he sees the value, which like the amount of character growth that they give Silence, where he's like, okay, I don't really value people, but I can see that there is something valuable here worth staying. So rather than leaving Earth with a copy of Gaia, he decides to stay, which I don't know. I thought that was really beautiful. Check my notes real quick. But yeah, and then in all of that, at the very end of the game, like at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, they tease, okay, there's going to be another game. Hades is with Silence. And then at the end of this game, not even at the end, like before even the final boss fight, they set up, oh, there's this big bad thing called Nemesis heading towards Earth, and that's why the Far Zeniths were here. They're trying to get supplies and leave and get out of here because Nemesis is chasing them. So it's like, oh, we're gonna have to fight Nemesis. And like, I really hope that it's in a DLC and that we don't have to wait another 5 years for another game. But it's probably gonna be in another game. Who am I kidding? But I hope it's not 5 years till the next game when we fight Nemesis. Also, ironically, even after 2 games, we still don't have Hephaestus. So Hephaestus has been an antagonistic force in both games, and he'll also be in the third one as an antagonistic force, which makes sense, because if Hephaestus was brought back into Gaia and was no longer a rogue AI, you wouldn't be fighting the machines in the world, so that would be kind of hard to do. Like, the game wouldn't be as exciting. But I mean, you can have conflict without having the wild machines. Anyways, but yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that they do release a DLC for this game. What I really want to see is a DLC of Beta, like Beta's time with the Zeniths and Beta escaping from the Zeniths. I think that would be a very good DLC story, because it wouldn't be very long, but like it would get to show us like Beta's side of things. So hey, Guerrilla Games, if you watch this, which I doubt you will, but hey, Guerrilla Games, give us that DLC. I want to play as Beta escaping from the Far Zeniths. And yeah, she wouldn't have any weapons. It would be more of like a stealth, like stealth survival game, or just stealth in general, sneaking out of the base and like tricking the Zeniths. But I think that would be an amazing DLC. Anyways, I have talked for almost half an hour about this. My gosh. Like I said, I can talk about things for so long. But yeah, in general, if I had to summarize all this, the game is so good. Highly recommend. I honestly don't know if I like this or Elden Ring better, because they're totally different games. This game has an amazing story. It made me feel things. It's super fun. But Elden Ring is always in the back of my mind now. It broke me. Anyways, but yeah, to stick on the topic of this game, it's very good. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it 9 out of 10, because there are minor issues. It's not 9 out of 10. See, 9 out of 10 seems low. It's not perfect. I would say 9.9 out of 10. That's better. That's a better one. Because like, yeah, it's amazing sound design. Visually, it's amazing. It feels good. The combat is good. Yeah, 9.9 out of 10. Highly recommend. And it's a good good game. Guerrilla did not drop the ball on this whatsoever. It lives up to the hype. The only unfortunate thing is it was released a week before Elden Ring, so Elden Ring's probably going to overshadow it again at the Game Awards. Horizon Zero Dawn was overshadowed by Breath of the Wild. This is being overshadowed by Elden Ring. So I'd say if you can take a break from Elden Ring, or if Elden Ring isn't your cup of tea, try this game. Play this game. This game is so good, and you will not regret it. It is a good game, and it has something there for everyone. Like, if you like the combat, you can spend all your time fighting machines if you want. If you like story, it has an amazing story. If you like music, it has epic music. Like, I love the music of this game. So good. Anyways, that is my review. I've talked for about 31 minutes now, so I'm going to stop taking up your time and rambling about one of the best games I've played, and I'll let you do whatever you want to do. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to comment what you thought of this review and my mini ramblings, please do so. And if you want to leave a like on this video to let me know that you like what I said in this video, that would also help too. Thanks. Bye.